Hi everyone, welcome back to Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. My name is Stacy. I have another Easter fun craft for you to do. It's made with one of these 3-piece bunny decor pieces from the Dollar Tree. Thought it was a great deal to have 3 in one thing. I don't know that I'm going to use all 3 bunnies, but I am going to use at least one. I'm just going to cut with my wire cutters the ring that's holding those together. And I'm going to put the other 2 bunnies aside for now. The first thing I need to do is take off all of this tinsel. I don't particularly care for the tinsel bunnies. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I need to modify this a little bit because I want the ears to be separate. So I'm going to cut this whole section of pieces out. And I'm going to cut the little knobs off of the ears too. Now, see how it's kind of bumpy here? I don't know if you can see that. See how it goes up and down and up and down? I don't want that bumpiness. So what I'm going to do is put some batting in there to smooth it out. And then I'm going to cover it with some fleece. You can just use bits of an old blanket if you want. You can go out and actually buy fleece if you want. I'm using, what was this, Wrap and Zap. It's just some batting I have left over from a package. I got these on sale really cheap at Joann's, and I bought more than I needed. And so I'm just going to cut off a piece that I know will fit all the way around my bunny's head. I want to do the ears separately from the body. It's just going to give me a little bit more freedom and flexibility with wrapping it with fabric. I have a bag of stuffing that came from a pillow that my dog chewed up. I'm going to grab a handful of stuffing. And the stuffing is going to go in here to fill in those gaps. Okay, so I need to get started on covering my bunny. And I'm going to go ahead and use some of my fleece to cover the main part of his head. I will need some scissors to snip once I get it around to that section. So first I'm going to start with the bottom. Just going to put some hot glue down here, and then I'm going to come up to the top and snip and pull that piece through in between the ears so that we have a nice finished spot between the ears. And then I'm going to angle it in. Now I just need to make my way around my bunny, gluing down around the edges. So I'm just going to put glue around the base here, and I'm just going to pull and tuck as much as I can. Check and make sure my front part of my bunny is still round. I'm just going to snip this off instead of wrapping it around. The back's not beautiful, but that's okay. It'll get covered up in the end. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cover the ears with some of these scraps I have over here. Now my bunny is covered in fleece and ready to go. Just like I did on the big bunny, I want to cover the ears first. And I have some fabric left over from a Christmas project. This is what I wanted to cover my big bunny with, but there just wasn't enough. If you don't have this, remember I'm trying to use what I have on hand without having to go to the store. There's also, if you got any at Christmas time, these scarves from the Dollar Tree. And since it's covered in fleece underneath there, it's going to look nice if you pull it across. But I wanted the little squares, so that's what I have decided to do. So the challenging part of this would be to keep it straight. So I'm going to come down a little lower than I need to so that I make sure I have enough to cover. And I'm going to glue that down. And then I'm going to come up here to the top with just a little dot because I'm working on getting this on here straight. I think the extra time spent will be worth it in the end if I can keep it straight. Okay, and then I'm going to tuck this fabric around. Looks like I need to miter it a little. Might need a little more. A little more. Just clipping it so that I can get it between the ears. There we go. Alright. Put some glue down here on the bottom. And pull this over. Okay. Just going to peek and make sure this is still somewhat straight, which it does look straight. Just pulling the edges into the glue, trying to keep my ear shape rounded. I can make the back pretty later. I'm going to flip it over and check. It is still maintaining the shape of the ear nicely. To match my plaids, but I want a finished edge, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue along here, and I'm going to fold over a little hem and fold it right on the line that's printed on the buffalo check. That way I have a finished edge. It isn't going to ravel. So now I can come down here where I need to, and I can match up my plaid. A line of glue and matching the plaid. Now when I pull it around, it pretty much matches. Awesome, that's what I was looking for. On this, I'm going to put the glue on the fabric and see where the fabric wants to go, because I think it's going to come straight across. Good. I like the way that's looking. Alright, so now I'm going to come down here to the bottom and pull straight as I can and glue that down. Then I'm going to trace my bunny. It's going to give me a rough cut of my bunny. And I'm going to just go ahead and cut it out roughly because I just want to cover the back. Checking the fit. I think I've got everything but between the ears right. So I'm going to start with the bottom, the head part. I'm just going to run a bead of glue all the way around. And then paying special close attention to the bottom where I don't have much of a selvage or seam allowance or whatever you want to call it. Pressing it down and pulling it off. This is just covering the back. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now on the ear, I'm going to put the glue on the ear piece. Okay, there's the back of my bunny covered. That just finishes up the project, I think, and makes it look a lot nicer if you've covered the back. All right, there's what he is so far. And I just need to decide what color I want to make his bow and what I want to do with that. Okay, so now that the bunny is covered, both front and back, they both look nice. I need to put a bow on this guy, girl, whatever, I don't know, on the bunny. And my big bunny that I did in my last video, or maybe 2 videos ago, I used this kind of faded denim color of blue, and I am liking this color, and I think I want to continue with that color throughout my bunnies for this Easter. So it's not going to be this exact color of blue, but I am going to incorporate blue into it. If you want to see how I did this bunny, I will try to remember to link it in the description box below. So the blue that I'm using in this bunny is it's kind of a baby blue, sky blue. It's a grosgrain, and it's got little polka dots on it. And I'm going to mix that with this bunny burlap ribbon that I have. So what I did is I cut 1 piece of the burlap and 2 pieces of the blue, and I laid them all face down. This is a 26-inch piece of ribbon here. Okay, now you could tie a bow and just glue it on. That would absolutely work, but I'm going to wrap it all the way around. Okay, so I put my bunny in the center. Now all 3 of these pieces of ribbon are one-sided, so there's a little trick I do when I'm tying one-sided ribbon. Make sure if it's got a direction to it that you've got it facing up. So my bunnies are right side up, and I'm very carefully holding all 3 pieces together, and I'm going to just tie a standard knot but keep all 3 of my pieces together. Okay, 2 pieces is easier to tie, but I felt like this one needed a 3rd. Okay, so tie it pretty tight. Put your finger in the middle, you know the routine on holding bows. Bring up this one. I'm right-handed, so I'm doing the right-handed side. Bring this up and make your loop. Make sure that you turn your bunnies facing right side up. Okay, then I'm going to hold the middle down with that finger, and I'm going to kind of twist this ribbon so that it's now face down again, so that I have it face up when I wrap it around that bow. I hope that makes sense. Then as it goes under, it's going to get another twist. Oops. It's going to get another twist. And I'm going to twist it one more time under here. Just trying to get my bunnies right side up. Just twist that ribbon before you tighten the bow in the middle. Okay, tighten it good and tight, and then this is where you adjust your bows. Hold the middle, or your loops rather, and keep tightening it, then adjust, then tighten, then adjust till you get it just the size that you want. Okay, kind of twist it and work it around a little bit so that your tails aim down. Okay, after you do that, you're probably going to want to tighten that knot one more time. Then what I'm going to do is inside the bunny loops is the blue. I'm going to pull 1 piece up and 1 piece down so that I get a little bit of blue showing on both sides of my burlap. Okay, just going to pull these loops just 1 up and 1 down. Okay, just trying to bring out the color, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Now this ribbon inside of here is twisted, so you got to kind of figure out which one needs to go up and which one needs to go down. You just got to look at it and see which direction it's going. Okay. Now with all 3 of your ribbons pulled apart, okay, on that side and all 3 on that side, I tighten the bow one more time. Okay, just to make sure that I've got the ribbons going the direction I need them to go. The one loop where you have all the twisted ribbon inside is always going to be the more difficult one because the ribbon is twisted and you're having to work with it. All right, then you've got your tails. You need to just kind of get them pointing down. And then I gather the tails up and I fold them in half and I cut at an angle, all three pieces together so they match, and the same on this side. I always look at which ribbon tail is the shortest and try to cut all of them to be that length, because it's inevitable whenever you tie a bow, it's hard to get both sides of the tails exactly the same when you tie it. Okay, if your bow will not lay down, employ your hot glue gun. I want this bow to show, or the blue to show on both sides. So I'm going to hold my blue loops out and pull back my burlap a little bit and just put a dot of glue in there and then push the burlap onto that glue, and that should hold the blue in place. And it's same on the other side, except this is the twisted ribbon, so it's being a little pill. The best way to do this for the first few times is to not have a directional ribbon like the bunny. If I had had another polka dot or just a plain gingham or burlap, that would have been easier to tie. So just going to put a dot of glue in there and let that hold it. And then I still have this side of my tail is longer than that side, so I'm going to recut this just a little shorter. And then pull it out. All right, there's that bunny. And then if you want a hook on the back, all you have to do is use a little piece of jute. Make a loop, tie a knot, okay, so all I have is just a loop with a knot tied, and I'm going to make sure that the tails are the same size so it looks nicer. And then, or you can even tie it back here. I am going to put a little dot of glue just to keep this ribbon in place, and then I'm going to lift it up and put my hanger underneath the ribbon. That way it'll look prettier. So it's under the ribbon, right between the ears, push it down, and voila, our bunny is all done. You can still adjust your tails or whatever if you feel like it isn't right. Put it where you want it, glue it down if it won't stay. Okay, this little bit of blue is what's going to tie my bunnies together, because all of them will have different kinds of coverings on them. This has been my gingham checked small bunny from the Dollar Tree. If you like this project, please give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. Every interaction that you do make with my channel helps my channel to grow. So use the thumbs either way. Leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. If you have any ideas of what else you might have around the house you could cover this with, you could totally do that. If you don't have fleece, when I made the bunny, Brenda Morning left a comment saying to use one of those car drying white fuzzy towels that you can get at the Dollar Tree. I used some of those at Christmas, but I don't know if I have any around the house right now. I'll have to look and see. But that would totally be really cute, and it would make it look like a little white fuzzy bunny. So that's another option. You can use batting from pillows. You can use an old blanket to put over the batting like I did. I just like that extra layer of batting in there to soften the look a little bit. You could do it without the batting. It just wouldn't be quite as rounded and quite as soft. But you use what you have so that you can make this if you have one of these bunny forms. So anyway, that's my project. I hope you like it. This has been Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. Stay safe out there, guys, and I will see you next time.